Welcome to, or back to, what are we called? Bardicaggravation, I think. What we're doing today, this is the start of our series. We're going to talk about DC20 and the differences between DC20 and D&D 5e. We're going to do a comparison between the two. And if you haven't heard of DC20 yet, I don't know how to help you. Google it. If you're a TTRPG player and you don't know about DC20, it's the new big thing. It's Kickstarter's going on right now. If you want to get this thing at a good price, go back to Kickstarter. Hurry up. Today, we're going to be talking about the fighter. Just the fighter, because that is the #1 class that people love to play.
I feel like the fighter is if you just don't want to think about anything. You just want to hit things with stuff. It's like, it's not fun.
In 5e.
For me.
Not in DC20.
Not in DC20.
Really?
You'll see.
It's
He doesn't know
over the
anything
top.
about this because he didn't do his fucking research.
He's wearing purple today. Did
It's
you
the
even notice?
solidarity of the dungeon
Solidarity.
coach. If you know
Hey,
anything
look at
about
purple. Solidarity. We didn't tell you?
Where's your purple?
It's DC20 day.
We're going to go over the differences of the fighter. We're only doing first to second level before you get your subclasses. So we're just doing the basic fighter.
Yes.
The subclasses for DC20 aren't out yet. They're coming out with the Kickstarter. So we're just going to show you what they get from
You
first
don't
to
even need
second
it.
level.
You don't even need it. They're amazing without it.
You don't need it yet. You're going to want to when you get to third level, though.
I bet.
Of course,
You
yeah.
want more. You always want more.
Yeah,
Give me more.
for Americans.
Jello.
I need more.
That song from Vikings, it's a great song.
How's it go? More who? Ha. More who? Ha.
That's the one. So let's start with the D&D 5e fighter because you all know that they get very basic things at level 1. What's the first thing they have to choose?
Well, the first thing they're going to want to choose is their fighting style.
Right.
That's like their main thing they get when they first start off.
Right.
But you pick how many as your character? What do you
One, right? You get
One
one
fighting
fighting style.
You get one. You better pick it and love it.
You pick it, and that's it for the rest of your life.
So with DC20, you also get you got to pick fighting. Well, actually, you don't have to pick
You
your
don't
fighting
pick any
style because you
fighting
have all of
styles.
them.
What?
You get them all.
You have all of them.
How do you get
Every
all
one
of
of
them?
Because they're all dependent on the weapon you choose. So if if you have an axe on you and you got a sword back here and then you got a bow over here and you can change it with every turn of combat. So right now I'm going to use my axe and that's a different fighting style. It's what is it? Butchery or I don't know what it's called.
You can do dueling or one-hand style.
Dueling,
shield
two-handed,
style.
similar to things, the archery. So, but you have access to all these fighting styles because you've learned them all before we started the game.
Why would you learn them all?
Because you're a fighter.
Oh, whoa. There we go. That makes sense.
How can you be
Your dad
trained
was a
in?
dick and he made you learn all this shit.
You learn a bunch of styles as a fighter.
But how can you be trained in everything?
How can wizards use every spell type?
Yeah, in your face, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
Wow, egg on my face.
And the best part is you start with more weapons too in this game.
Yeah.
As the fighter, you start with three weapons.
3 weapons.
3 weapons you get to choose from, and armor,
And a ranged weapon,
weapon.
with your or a
Hold
thrown
up.
weapon.
I know, relax. Is that amazing?
This seems like a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's a lot to take
just,
in.
You just wait.
This is just starting.
Buckle up, bucko.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You're about to take it.
I just like the idea of having one fighting style that just
Well, then
simplifies
play
things.
D&D, you simp.
What's the next thing that fighters get in 5e?
They get
It's on the board.
I'm making it look like
He's
I know what
acting.
I got. They get something called second wind,
Ooh.
which basically gives you like the ability to take a bonus action, rest, and regain some hit points. So that's
Cool.
kind of a cool
What?
thing.
With your second wind, you get hit points back
Okay.
as a bonus action. Only a bonus action, and you can only do that once per rest.
Once per.
You don't have to rest to do it.
Oh, so it's
You
okay.
do it during combat, but you can only do it once per short or long rest.
So that's where I was making. Okay, so all right, that's pretty awesome as a
pretty
fighter.
cool.
I can
everybody
go
Yeah.
and regain some hit points.
That makes a
Everybody
lot of
loves
sense.
Yeah.
But in DC20, it works differently, doesn't it, Rick?
It's totally different.
Well, not totally.
It's better, actually. Once it just automatically triggers once you hit a certain point.
No action required.
No action required. It just happens. You get to a certain point of hit points, and you feel like you're getting your butt kicked right when you hit this bloodied condition.
Which is half your hit points.
Boom! Kicks right in.
Yeah.
So how does it? I mean, what do you mean by kick right in?
It just happens. It just automatically happens and gives you hit points back automatically.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
You don't even got to think about it. It just happens. And it's only, guess what? Once per combat. It's not once per rest. It's once per freaking combat. So
Yep.
if we actually take a 2-minute rest and then fight again, I can do it again.
Not even a 2-minute rest. If you go, you got 5 combats before you get to your long or short rest.
per
You get to use it 5 times.
Come on.
And then what's the third and final thing that basic fighters get in D&D?
This is what everybody likes as
Yes.
action surge.
Oh, yeah.
Where they get to do their whole another action. So you can do another attack or whatever.
Right.
But you only get that once per long rest. So
Or short rest.
Or short rest.
Yep.
See,
Fighters get everything back on a short rest in 5e.
Oh,
You
so
know
they-
this.
Yeah. I'm testing you.
How does it work in DC20?
Well, same principle. You do get another action, but you're spending stamina points, which all martial classes get. Think of it like the sorcery points for a sorcerer, where you can spend a number of sorcery points to get a spell slot or 2 back. Same thing. So you got your stamina points because you're a martial, and you can spend a stamina point to get another action point back. You have 4 action points in DC20. There's no bonus action, reaction, none of that stuff. You got 4 actions that you can spend on your turn, or not even on your turn. We'll get into that. If you spend 2 stamina points, you get 2 actions back. If you spend 3 stamina points, you get 3 actions back. So how do you like that?
Does that mean I can make 4 attacks on my action?
You could, yeah.
Yes, you can.
Or
They're
can
at
I-
diminished capacity every time you do.
Okay.
But you can make 4 attacks as part of your action if that's what you want to do. At first level.
At level 1.
Wow.
Because you have 4 action points. Also, this has nothing to do with long rest or short rest, this action surge, like it does in D&D 5e. It's just, if you have the stamina points to spend, you can take that many actions if that's what you want to spend the stamina points on. Because you're also going to use those things to do extra damage if you want to, or to gain advantage if you want to, or, things like that. So a lot of uses for stamina points. So this is one way to use them. And it's a good way.
Because I think
So-
that's all.
What? Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I don't mind. I like it.
As far as I know, that's like we've already covered what you get from 1 to 2, levels 1 to 2 in D&D 5e.
We have. That's it.
That's
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Yep.
So
Pretty cool, huh?
you're saying DC20 has all of these options and all these. You can do 4 attacks per action. You can get. Oh my God, there's a lot going on.
Are you trying to do a commercial? We're not doing a commercial. Nobody's paying us for this shit.
All I'm saying
Tell me
is
what you're
that
saying.
when you put the 2 together or side by side, DC20 blows D&D 5e out of the water when it comes to the fighter.
We're not even done. We're,
Yeah,
just
we're
scratching
not
the
done?
surface. We're just scratching.
There's more.
Is that all? No, there's more.
There's more!
So let's just do the action point thing real quick. So yeah, you get 4 action points. Every class does, but fighters obviously. So there's no action, bonus action, reaction, and you can spend those action points however you want to.
Yes.
So if you want to use all 4 of those as reactions on somebody else's turn, you want to help them, you want to block the blow, you want to do whatever you want to, you can spend all of those before you even get to your turn.
Yeah.
So that means you're not just sitting there waiting for it to come back around to you during combat because you're paying attention to what's happening and seeing if there's something you can do to help.
It's interactive combat.
Interactive combat.
Yes.
And you get those action points back
Every
at
round.
the end of your turn.
Yeah, yep. At the beginning of your turn. So every turn, you get your actions again. Just like in D&D, you get your bonus action, your reaction, and your action all back, your movement. So it's the same thing. But you spend them however you want to. There's not like, oh no, what can I do in my bonus action? And you have 1 thing or 2 things you can possibly do. And I guess I have no bonus action.
It's useless, yeah.
There's no bonus action. Every action's a bonus action. In DC20.
Oh my God, there's so much you can do.
That's what we just said.
I love it.
Me too.
I don't want to play D&D 5e. I want to play this.
I don't care. You're going to play 5e because we need to do it for our channel.
Oh, okay. But it sounds like what we're talking about, role-playing aspect, it sounds like there's a lot more you can really interject with all that stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you, watch this.
Wait, here it comes.
So if you want to have different things to do on your turn in D&D 5e as a fighter, what subclass are you going to pick, Brandon, at 3rd level?
Battlemaster.
Battlemaster. Why would you pick a Battlemaster? Why is that the best one?
They're the best. They get their whatevers.
Maneuvers.
They get their maneuvers. They're
what you're talking about,
Yeah,
maneuvers?
they're
Different
different.
techniques.
You can trip. You can you can do shove or whatever.
What's one you like
Spit
to
right
hear?
in their mouth. They like
Riposte.
that.
Riposte.
Post.
Brace. Riposte.
I hate
Yeah.
those.
So, you're getting that at 3rd level as a Battlemaster, and that's what everybody's going to pick as a fighter mostly, the vast majority of the time, because it's fun.
Or Echo Knight because they're awesome.
Shut up. Every single fighter in DC20 is a Battlemaster. At level 1,
At level 1.
you have 4 maneuvers that you can choose that you have it. Then when you get to level 2, you got 5 maneuvers, and those will keep going up. So you know all these cool things you can do with your weapons and your attacks.
But the craziness about those maneuvers is you automatically already get every attack maneuver and every weapon maneuver, and then those 4 are from different types of maneuvers.
Yes, so you're going to
can
have
get
all the
defense.
weapon maneuvers
Yeah,
and
you get
all the
everything.
attack maneuvers. So you can use any of those, which is great on your turns. You have a lot of choices.
You could pick yourself as a grappler or whatever type of fighter you want to be. You pick those maneuvers. You want to be a defender, you pick those defender maneuvers.
So wait,
If you want to mix and match, you mix and match. It's whatever you want to do.
I'm hearing a lot of different maneuvers. So there's your
wanna see
attack
it?
maneuvers. It's kind of like your trip, like, kind of like that kind of stuff.
No, there's only 3 of them.
3.
You can extend your attack so you can go another 5 feet as if you were.
You know what? They don't
bugbear
even
with
call it
long
5
limb.
feet in DC20. They call it a square.
Space, a square.
Yeah, it's a square. Like, why call it?
Yeah.
It's right there next to you.
You can also do a sweep attack as an attack maneuver where anybody within those spaces of you,
Spaces, you can hit them.
You hit your target and then you hit everybody else there. They each get 1 point of damage,
And power attack is the last one,
which
which you use
Get
an
more
action
damage.
point to add 1 more damage. But the thing about that is, unlike D&D 5e, where it's just power attack, you get +1, this one you can spend 3 action points to get a +3.
No.
And then hit them with your 4th action point. It's crazy.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to get lost in the weeds here.
Well, then stop
You're
listening
gone.
to Rick.
What are you talking about? I make all the sense.
And you have your grapple maneuvers where you can body slam people, you can throw people in the air, you can
Punch people.
You can twist their nipple. So with your grapple maneuvers, because I know you like that, that sounds like fun. Yeah, there are all these cinematic things you can do on your turn. You can, if you have somebody grappled and somebody attacks you, you can take their fucking body and use it as a shield. And now they just hit that person. That's a move you can do. It's
crazy.
not a flavor thing. You get, like I said, you can body slam somebody. You can throw somebody. So you got save maneuvers, which means they get a saving throw against your stuff, and you can slow somebody, kind of like hamstringing. You can hinder them, which means they have disadvantage the next time they attack. You can push them. You can trip them. You can do it like it's the Battle Master stuff.
And it seems like it's built in like flavor already, like very
100%.
very cinematic when you're talking about what kind of action you're doing, what you're doing in combat.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So Brandon, when he does any kind of martial attacks in the game, he always does this big description, this cinematic thing, and you see this, as they always start that, well, you see my character doing this, and it's going to be this cinematic thing, and then the DM really has no recourse other than to say, okay, roll you to hit, and if you hit, just roll your damage. That's it. There's no, the rule of cool is something that a DM has to kind of do themselves. If a player goes, I'm going to do this cool thing, and then the DM has to go, well, is that possible, and how would that work? The rule of cool is baked into the game. It's baked into the game. So any cinematic stuff you want to do, you go, oh, well, I have this maneuver and I have this technique, so I want to do this with my attack. And then they'll be like, well, that's not, it's in the fucking rules, DM. Look it's a skill I have. You can do, like, there's with the techniques, you're going to also get those too. You get one of those at 2nd level, and these are like combo moves. So you can
So we're off
combo these
maneuvers?
things.
We're done with maneuvers?
No,
Okay.
this is all part of the same bag.
Techniques now.
So you can literally jump through the air, take your sword or your axe behind, and like slow motion, Spartacus at 300, and I bring it down, and because that's a skill you have on the paper. You can jump and roll. So you can dive and roll. That's a maneuver you have. So you're fighting a gnome or a halfling, you could just jump over his little head and then land on the other side and roll up, and then bam in the back of the head. He doesn't know what happened.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why you called them. They're obviously small people.
That's insulting.
No, it's not.
Who wants to be called a small person?
Does somebody want to be called a?
I would if I was a.
Weapons. Each weapon has its own maneuver. And it has a passive maneuver, so each weapon does a different thing.
And what weapon you choose matters here too, unlike
time.
5e where it
Big
doesn't
time.
make a difference. Every single weapon has its own little special thing that it can do.
Yes.
A passive one that just happens
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
use it.
Yep.
This is an interactive, again, combat. So you are helping each other. You're assisting each other. You're comboing stuff. You can combo stuff with your spell cast. You can combo stuff with your other fighters or your rogues. It's so cool.
So it engages everybody in the combat. Combat isn't individual anymore. It's now a team effort.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, if you want to be that loner dick that sits there and just waits for your turn, you can do that. Nothing's going to stop you, but you're not going to have many friends and you probably get uninvited. You have chained weapons.
Chained weapons.
You have
come
chained
on.
weapons in this game, which is my favorite thing. Now I'm excited for real. I'm not acting.
It's not just a D6?
You get a meteor hammer.
What's a meteor hammer?
Like Gogo in Kill Bill, that schoolgirl
Yeah.
that was fucking up the bride. It's a long chain with whatever you want on the end of it,
Weight,
a spike ball
spike,
or a ball
sickle, whatever you want.
yeah, and sometimes they have a ball on each end, and so you got these kind of weapons. You got quite a few. You can use nunchucks, you can use bolas, you can trip people. They all can impart conditions and have extra things they can do. You got hand weapon. Oh, he'll love this. He's all monk boy. You got hand weapons.
Fist.
I think 4 or 5 different fist weapons. You can actually get claws, like say you're Wolverine, if that's your thing. You got brass knuckles. Yeah, and every time you got somebody grappled with your fist weapon, you're doing an extra damage.
Extra damage,
every time you hit them.
Yeah.
So most of these things, they give you an extra damage with that maneuver on top of the other things they do. So if you're using these things, and
But you got to use your action points to do these maneuvers. It just doesn't happen for free.
yeah, no,
You're
believe
using
me,
your points. You're
you have-
using these.
you
That's
have
these
your
4
action
points. You're
points.
using them. You're
Your stamina
using them.
points.
Yes.
You're gonna
Stamina
spend
points.
these things, so you don't have unlimited resources. He's right.
Yes. You're not just going on like.
Don't get this isn't like Daggerheart where you can do whatever you want to, all you want to, and the DM will just decide whether it works or not. I don't mean to poo-poo Daggerheart, but Daggerheart.
This is not Daggerheart.
If you bloody somebody with an attack, if they get the bleeding condition, that means every turn thereafter they take a point of damage because they're fucking bleeding.
Yeah.
So you're losing hit points. You're just leeching hit points.
I think it's also important to note here that in DC20, your hit points aren't as massive
That is a good point.
as you would think
Yeah.
in D&D. So
You're not-
losing 1 point
Is big.
Is
It's a big deal.
big.
We do need to
big
make
deal.
that clear. You have far fewer hit points and you do far less damage. So do the enemies. That sounds like, what do you mean? I want 100 hit points because now I'm really powerful. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to him, right?
Listen to that.
This is why combats drag on for 3 hours. One session will take up a combat will take up an entire session, and fuck that, because you're standing there going ding, 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 ding. If you're the fighter back and forth for 3 fucking hours every time it comes back to your turn every half hour. This is what do you do when you're watching an epic movie or a fantasy novel series? What are they trying to do? Not get hit. Kill them before they can kill you, because you get a couple hits from an axe, and guess what? It's the emergency room or the graveyard for you.
Pretty much.
But in this, so it's that feeling of like, all right, I only have 5 hit points and I can't take another one of those hits. So you want to finish that fucker off quickly, which is how it is, because in all those Lord of the Rings, they're just walking through, hacking goblins with 1 hit. Because that's all it takes with a sword. You ever been hit by a sword?
Personally, no. I haven't.
Just trust me. It can kill you the first time it hits you. Probably only 2 times will do the job. This is much more of a cinematic feel, realistic feel, and your combat's gonna go. And it's going to be over, and it's going to be exciting, because you're like, woohoo, that was great.
Sounds a lot cooler than D&D 5e, where it's just, I'm going to swing my sword, roll to hit. Oh, I hit. It does
Now roll your damage.
4 points of damage.
Damage is quicker. It's easier.
You
it's
don't
faster.
roll damage in DC20.
It just is.
This is another thing that could sound like, oh, that's going to be lame, but hear me out. So whatever your sword, or your axe, or whatever, they just do the damage they do.
Yeah.
Some swords
Yes.
do 2 damage, some do 1, some do 3. That's the damage. You're not rolling for the damage.
No, just does it.
If you hit, that's it. That's the damage. Now, the way you do more damage is doing a brutal hit or a bigger brutal hit, whatever it's called, a heavy hit. If you roll 5 above their armor class, so to keep it simple, if the armor class of the thing you're fighting is 10 and you roll a 15, now you're doing more damage.
So you're saying your DC20 roll actually means something?
What are you doing a commercial too? The 2 of you.
Does it mean something?
You know what it means.
In
That
D&D.
critical roll, that D20 on D&D 5e is like, woohoo! Somebody finally got a 20, natural 20, and
Double damage. That's it.
This is like if you roll anything else, it's high. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I rolled a 19. Doesn't matter. Means nothing. It does in this game. So how many times did your fighter do? You rolled an 18 and you got a +8. And now you're what's the math?
A lot.
26.
26. I hit him for 26. DM. Who cares? It wasn't a natural 20. Fuck off.
His armor class is 10, so it was only
Right.
26. Don't matter.
This matters because now you're doing like 3 brutal, and you can take this
you're-
thing out with 1 hit. So the higher you roll, the more damage you do. Just look at it that way.
Dude,
that's fun. So
really
high rolls matter. Doesn't have to just be a 20. Any high roll is going to matter more. That's fun, isn't it?
It's fun.
Just say yes.
That sounds so freaking exciting.
And it simplifies everything because it's amazing to me. I still can't wrap my brain around how many nerds are just idiots when it comes to math, myself included. I'm the worst. But it's true. It's weird. You would think nerd equals math genius, but it doesn't. It doesn't. So this helps all that. You don't have to worry about the math too much. It's simple. We can't even cover all the options.
I don't even know.
It's too much.
No, wait, we're at level 2.
Yeah. We're only at level 2.
This feels like this is a level 18 character.
I know. And even though, so that's a good point, because it does feel like, oh my God, they're so overpowered. They can do so much. Don't forget, you're only getting 4 maneuvers, and then you get another one as you level up, and you only get 1 technique, which are more combo moves you can use with your maneuvers. Talked a little bit about those. Those are really cool things you can do. You're spending your action points or your stamina points. But just compare this to a wizard in 5e or a sorcerer. Mm-hmm. Now what Alan has done with DC20 is given the martial classes just as much utility and just as many cool choices as the wizards have with their spells that they can cast. But yeah, you're no longer going to feel like, oh, I'm just whacking with my sword every time, and the wizards and the sorcerers doing all this fun stuff. Look at the druid turning into a beast, and now you got just as many things as they do, and they're going to be like, that's really cool, fighter.
The cool thing about this, what I think,
One of the cool things.
Yeah, only one.
is that you can start a character out and you have this is what you want. You start them out this way, but say they lose their sword. Maybe they find
Loser? So what's a loser sword?
say they lose their sword, and there's not one readily available, and there's a chain weapon. Now they pick that up and they become a completely different fighter, and maybe a different character altogether.
Because they know how to use it. Mm-hmm. Why would they become a different character?
Because maybe instead of like slicing into things, they do other cool things. Like
And maybe they become a
trip
Japanese girl and they start fighting.
They do that. I don't know why. It wouldn't make you a totally different character. Let's don't get confused. That doesn't happen. And it happened in his brain, but not DC20. If you didn't think that was enough, I know you did.
There's one more thing.
Wait, there's more.
The other cool little stuff is you weapons and armor. They also level up as you get better with them. So when you first start out, you're a novice skill with your armor and your weapons. But then you can spend points later on. You're going to have skill points and you're going to have talent points and these things to spend as you level up. So even when you level up in DC20, it's not like, well, now you just get this. No, you get more choices every time. So now you got some skill points. Where do you want to spend them? I want to spend them on my armor, or I want to spend them on my weapon. Now you can get up from novice to
Better than novice.
better than novice.
It's like my favorite video game where I can, level up my weapons and stuff as I get more powerful. I don't just have to have this level 1 short sword through the whole campaign.
No, but the sword is still the sword, but you get better at using it. So yes, you do more damage. You have a better armor class because now you know more about how this stuff works as you've been using it. You're learning from your mistakes and stuff.
And this is just scratching the surface. I mean, we've only talked about 2 levels in this. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine as you get higher in this and more proficient in all these weapons you're using. It's just, sky's the limit.
This really does sound incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, Rick's right. We're not going to go on and on. You get the idea. There's a lot more maneuvers, and these techniques are very exciting. You're going to get those a little bit as you go up. So you're not going to get overwhelmed with, I can do these on every turn. No, you have to pick the 4 that you're going to use. Or like you said, with the attack maneuvers, there's only 3 of them. But you're going to pick which one you want to use when.
But you could literally, in one turn, use every attack maneuver and your attack. So you can use a power attack, you can extend that, and you could sweep and use your action. But you can't do anything else, but you've used every attack maneuver you have in one turn.
That's a combo.
Wow.
That's a combo.
It's one attack, so you're not getting a
You're not getting another
disadvantage.
attack.
You're not getting anything like that, but it's one attack.
Yeah.
But you did it all at once. You're like, I need to take this guy down. Maybe I'll power attack everything I have into killing this main bad guy at the end.
This one's giving me trouble. I need to take him out of the
Yeah,
fight.
we need to
So
get rid of
just
this guy. We all like
throw the
it's just-
kitchen sink at it.
Man, there's so many different options.
It's exciting. I mean,
I can't wait to really play this.
Put in the comments if you think you disagree. If you think the 5e fighter is better. We literally, no shit, thought, okay, this might be. Let's see how much better one is over the other. DC20's new, but new doesn't always equal better.
No.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah.
There's no competition. This is pathetic. The amount of better this is.
I can't wait to see the other ones, like the other classes lined up next to each other.
We're going to go over every class. We're just, again, the fighter. Next, we're either going to do the rogue or the wizard. Let us know what class you want us to do next. Put it in the comments, and that's what we'll do, unless we've already filmed it. And then don't think we're ignoring you. We just already filmed it. Because there's, I think, 12
12, yeah.
different classes. So, we're going to be here a while. Not today.
Well,
In your feed. The overall thing here is you're going to see this with all we talk about with DC20. But this hopefully illustrated this point of you have so many choices. One of my gripes with 5e, and I know other people have this too, is you it's the illusion of choice, right? We talk about the feats. Look at all these feats you can choose from. How many of those feats get picked? The vast majority do not. So if you're playing a fighter, you're going to take Great Weapon Master or Polearm Master. You're going to take Sentinel. These are just what you take. It's kind of a given now, right? So you don't have all these difficult choices to make when it comes to feats. And you should. With subclasses, look at all of the classes. How many of them have subclasses? They have 13 subclasses, 8 subclasses, and there's really only one to pick. You know, if you're playing a druid, you're probably playing a moon druid. If you're playing a fighter, you're probably playing a battle master. Some people are going to not
Echo
do
Knight.
that.
Echo Knight.
No.
Stop tharping on that.
You have
crazy.
tough choices. So like when you're
Yeah.
picking these maneuvers and when you're picking these techniques and when you're picking where to put your skill points and what to spend those on, every choice is a good one. So now you really got to think and be like, well, what do I want? Because I want them all. That's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have. Not, oh, well, this is clearly the best one, so I'll just take that.
No.
You know?
No, you can make it 10 different fighters and they're different.
Yeah.
They're all, you could look at that thing and be like, I want this technique, I want this technique. I want to actually be a punching fighter. I want to be this, I want to be that.
Yeah.
And you're not weaker because you're a punching fighter. Or
No, you're not.
Or you're using a bow and
That's your
arrow, you're not
thing.
weak. You're just as strong in a different way.
Yep.
It's pretty
So
amazing.
yeah, it's not like this one's way more overpowered than that one. You're right.
There's no OP-ness.
It's just how do you want your character to
OP-ness.
fight?
Sorry, I said OP-ness.
That's his national anthem. Oh, penis, oh, penis.
It's my national anthem and they know the song. All right, I'm just saying.
You can make it your own. It doesn't have to be just rules as written. It's your thing,
Yeah.
your character, how you want to play it.
And it's designed so that it doesn't break the game. You don't get to just have whatever you want and be the most powerful one. You can't break the game with this. He's got this all figured out. Somehow, he's outsmarted all of us, and he's done this.
It's probably because he was a math teacher.
Probably. Or not. And then the last real quick thing is, we're not going to get into this. This will be its own video, but you know, sooner or later, you might want to multiclass because they usually do in 5e. You get a multiclass, and what happens when you multiclass? You have to put your progression on hold. A level 4 fighter, and now I want to go to rogue or to ranger, and so I got to put that on hold, put it on ice, and miss out on some things as I'm progressing up because I want to take this stuff now because I need this one thing from this class. You don't have to do that. You're going to have talent points to spend as you level up, and you have multi-class talents. You can just take one thing from this as your fighter, and you're still leveling up as your fighter. You're still a level 5 fighter. You're not skipping your fighter levels. You're not losing out on that. You're just deciding to spend what you would spend on a fighter thing for this one warlock thing that sounds cool to you. That's how you multi-class. Look at that.
That seems a lot easier.
Bye.